Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to welcome you to the graduation of the Citizens Academy, the fall session. First, on behalf of Mayor David Combs and the members of the Rocky Mount City Council, I want to welcome you on their behalf. And I want to just say to you that for people, some people may say there's nothing going on in Rocky Mount. But let me tell you, by my body, by my schedule, there's a lot going on in Rocky Mount. This evening, we have Twin County Hall of Fame going on at 6 o'clock. This evening, we have the Realtors Banquet, Awards Banquet, going on at 6 o'clock. This evening, we have graduation ceremony of the Citizens Academy going on at 6 o'clock. So by my account, there's a lot going on in Rocky Mount. So I just say that to say that the mayor and other members of the council are in other places. But it doesn't mean that what you've done is not important, because they sincerely appreciate the time that you've committed to learning about city government and how city government works. So I just wanted to get that out right out front. We look at the Citizens Academy as, I call it friend raising. I guess this is this the third year or the third year?
Oh, I think it's more.
The third year. Third or fourth year, it doesn't matter.
Session, the second year we started in 2010.
But the thing about it, what we find is that when people participate in the Citizens Academy, and I hope you will say this, you walk away with a new appreciation for your government. Because it's not as simple as people think it is it? And so now when a neighbor complains, what do you say to him? Sign up for the Citizens Academy. Since you know so much, sign up for the Citizens Academy, okay? Because your city government is a complicated operation. You have a city government that has a budget of $212 million a year. You have a city government that deals with life safety with the fire department, crime and safety with the police department, clean up with solid waste, streets, maintaining streets, keeping them clean. You have parks and recreation, taking activities in the neighborhoods. You have senior citizens facilities. You have more than 50 parks in the city. And I haven't even gotten started. You run the electric system. You're one of 8 cities in the state of North Carolina that has natural gas. You run the water and wastewater system. You also have stormwater. That's a lot. That's a lot to say grace over. And so, and you've been exposed to all of that. So we appreciate your willingness to learn, but we also believe we have prepared board members for boards and commissions in our city. So we don't want this to be the end, we want this to be the beginning. Some of you have already served on boards, but we prepared you now for service. And what they say at church, when you depart to serve. When you leave the Citizens Academy, you depart to serve. And we want you to serve the city of Rocky Mount and help make it better. And you're already doing that. So with that, I'll say welcome, and I'll conclude my remarks.
Good evening. I'm Ann Wall. I'm an assistant city manager with the City of Rocky Mount, and I also would like to thank you all for coming tonight. And I get the honor of announcing all the recipients for graduation. So I'm going to ask Loretta if we're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one I'd like to introduce is John Alexander. John is retired, has recently moved here from Florida. I met John about 2 nights ago, and he and I used to live near each other in the Orlando area. So, congratulations, John.
Get you on the camera, so.
Whoops.
Gotta go get you.
So you have to walk through the whole line. It's like graduation from high
So
school.
let's give directions. They come up.
Yes.
See me, and you go to the road.
Okay, and let's give John a hand. Okay, the next I have Pearlie Battle. Miss Battle is active in the Edgemont Neighborhood Association, and she has just recently completed our fire academy. She's been busy. Congratulations, Miss Battle.
Hold on, Pearl.
Uh-oh. You need some help there, Mr.
Yeah, they got in a knot.
How many people does it take to untie, tangle two name badges?
How many city employees do
Right.
it take?
I don't know what we're doing here. Okay, here, you got it right here.
We'll give you yours
Here,
later.
here, Miss, there we go. There we go. Okay, there's Miss Battles.
They were in order.
Okay, now get on camera. Okay,
Loretta, you and I are close.
let's give it this back. Okay, the next one we have is Pam Casey. Pam is an employee in the city clerk's office with the city of Rocky Mount. Mr. Penny and I work with Pam quite a bit, probably sometimes more than she would like. And Pam has worked for the city for how long, Pam? 4 years?
Almost 6 years.
Almost 6 years.
January, 6 years.
Wow, 6 years. Great. Congratulations, Pam. And next we have Cynthia Davis. Miss Davis is a local barber. We're having some name.
We'll be all right.
Okay, great. Great. And next we have James Goodman Jr. Mr. Goodman? Mr. Goodman is employed with the Safe Light Glass Corporation. Great. Congratulations. Next, we'd like to recognize Bree Handgraf. Bree is, as many of you all know, is a reporter for the Telegram. She covers the city of Rocky Mount, and we always appreciate Bree's contributions. And Bree,
Excellent report.
right,
Yes.
she is. And now we have a whole family to honor. And I'm so excited because I looked at Loretta and I said, now we have had husbands and wives before. I think we have had some mothers and daughters before, but we have never had an entire family. Wow. So this is awesome. So first we want to recognize Mr. James Hardy. He is a retired veteran. And I think for purposes, we need to let the whole family, let's gather the whole family up together, okay? So Mr. Hardy, if you'll just wait for them all. Okay? Okay, now we need to recognize Patricia Hardy, the wife of Mr. Hardy. So here's our husband and wife.
They're going to be screaming each other. Mr. Hardy say something bad about it.
Okay, now we need to recognize Linda Harris, who is retired and is the sister of Mrs. Hardy.
Come
No, wait, we have one more. We have one more. And I think we actually have the member of the family who is in charge. Okay? And this is Mabel Harris, and Mrs. Harris is the mother of Patricia and Linda. And this is the first time we have had 4 members of one family attend. This is terrific. Now we'd like to recognize Leon Hines. And Mr. Hines is an employee with the Wake County Public Schools.
He's also a church member.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Okay, and after this we have Paul Hines. No, they're not. Okay. And Mr. Hines is retired. Where are you retired from? He's got that big smile on his face, doesn't he?
Loretta's retired too, but she works hard.
Don't tell Loretta that. We have quite a few H's, so I'm going to go to the last H that we have, and that's Miss Maddie Hinton. And Miss Hinton is active in the North End Baptist Church, and she recently set up a clothes closet at her church.
Busy woman.
Okay, and we'd like to recognize Alice Jeffries.
We got a lot of women in this class. We need some more men.
Miss Jeffries is active in the South Rocky Mount Neighborhood Association, and she is also a member of the Advanced Police Academy class. We'd like to recognize Gwen Marshall. Ms. Marshall is the Assistant President of the Tau Gamma Delta sorority. There's another first in this class, and the other first in this class is we've had 3 city employees to participate. This is the first time we've had city employees, so should have mentioned this when we had Pam, but I'd like to recognize Brandon Medina. Brandon is a police officer with the City of Rocky Mount. And I'd like to recognize Lily Mae Sheridan. Ms. Sheridan is active in the South Rocky Mount Neighborhood Association. I'd like to recognize Naomi Wright. Miss Wright, woohoo! Miss Wright is the president of the Little Falls Neighborhood Association. And our final participant is Charlene Wilkins, And while Charlene's walking up here, I'll just have to mention a few things. Charlene works in the city manager's office, and she tries to keep Mr. Penny, Mr. Varney, and me straight. And it is a never-ending job. Okay? Right. And Jabria, her granddaughter, is with her. And just a note, you know, our city employees, like many of you all, they work full-time jobs with the city, and, you know, we really appreciate the fact that they've taken time out to participate. Okay, well, I'm going to turn it over to Loretta.
I have a few special presentations to make tonight. You all remember your name game? Do you all remember the name game? All right, all right. We have some excellent memories in here. And we had 2 participants to win the name game. And I'm going to ask Linda Harris to come forward. Linda, on behalf of the Citizens Academy, I want to present this cash gift to you. Linda was able to, she struggled, you all, but she was able to go around and name each of the participants. And we encourage bonding and camaraderie and all of that, so she was able to do that. So on behalf of the participants, I present you with this for having a good memory. Pam Casey, and Pam, just stand for right now. Pam wanted to. In fact, she did it first. She said, well, I'm going to try it, and she did a wonderful job. And Pam has asked that her money be given to Christmas Aid, so we will make sure that that contribution is made. On behalf of Pam, we had several students that came to all 10 classes. So these are our perfect attendance folks, and we're going to ask you to come forward. Pam Casey, if you will come. Let me just read this. It says, perfect attendance certificate presented to Pam Casey for recognition of perfect attendance during Christmas, during Citizens Academy Fall Session 2012.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You want them all to stay up here?
Yeah, just let them stay. Charlene Wilkins.
Charlene knew she had the team.
Yeah. These are city employees, so they didn't have any choice.
We checked on Friday.
Exactly.
We came to dinner every night.
Every Thursday. Alice Jeffries. And I just want to tell you all about this lady. I'll wait till she gets up here. We're so proud of her. Miss Jeffries had a heart attack. Yes. She had a heart attack during the session, and the night I was getting ready to tell the class about her and ask everybody to pray for her, she came walking in. She didn't miss a beat, and I understand the doctors were trying to get her to stay at the hospital, and she said, no, I got to go to Citizens Academy. And she came. Linda Harris. And Linda's sister, Patricia Hardy.
It's all on?
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to get one good shot of that.
We want to give all these 5 ladies a hand for making attendance every night. Thank you, ladies. At our last session, we had the participants to do the class superlatives. So I'm just going to share that with you right now. And we have pins for these participants. Miss Congeniality. Who do you think that might be? Just look around. Miss Busybody, Gwen Marshall. Yeah, Gwen was all over the place. Okay, Mr. Congeniality, Paul Hines. Paul was a cool dude. And Paul sings too, so we probably should have gotten him to do a solo for us tonight. But we'll get him. Most talkative, James Goodman Jr. He's quiet tonight. The quietest, we had 3, and this was a tie, which I thought was interesting. Miss Jeffries, Charlene Wilkins, and Mabel Harris. So you all come up. These are our quietest participants. Yes, throughout the whole session. The earliest got there every time and asked, anything I can do? Anything I can do? Naomi Wright. Most energy, Leon Hines.
For real?
Yeah, Mr. Busybody. Yeah. And the latest, the person that always came late, but let me explain this. This is not a bad thing. This person is an outstanding business person. And she has a tendency to be there to get that money while they're there. And Cynthia Davis.
You gotta be there.
Cynthia is our barber, and she keeps the men in Rocky Mount looking
right.
good. Most helpful, this gentleman would stay and say, let me help you, and I would always say, no, I got it, but he always stayed to help. Brandon Medina. Ask the most questions.
Bree.
Who do you think this?
Bree.
Pam and Bree.
That's the paralegal.
I asked her if she writes it.
That's the reporter and the
We also asked you to share with us the person who you thought should be your speaker tonight. And a lot of you voted for this gentleman, and outstanding gentleman. Just saw him earlier this week at the Imperial Center, and I told him about the forum. He said, yeah, well, since I'm down here, I'm going to go and find out what it's all about. He has recently moved to this area and very much interested in Rocky Mount. Could have chosen other places, but he chose to come here, and we're just so happy to have him. Who do you think he is? Yeah, yes. I introduce to you John Alexander, who will speak on behalf of the participants. And let me give you your pen.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it's an honor that you guys chose me. I don't know why, but thank you very much. It was interesting in the beginning because we all came together, I think, in this class not knowing really what we were going to get. We didn't know what to expect. I don't think any of us had really any preconceived ideas. We kind of came with it in an open mind. And as we began to move through each week, we started to realize that this was really going to be kind of fun. It was very positive. Every department we visited brought energy, a sense of pride to what that department was, what its purpose was. You know, and the neat thing about it is we never got the feeling that those people in those departments didn't want to be there. We really felt they wanted to be there and share the information they had with us. And that made this whole thing really worthwhile. And I think it's a great testament to the city itself and to the positive attitude that just goes all the way through City Hall. That's pretty much where it all comes from, to have these people be this positive for us. And I think we all really, really appreciated that very much. The Citizens Academy is a great place to get to know what Rocky Mount's all about, and it's a great overview of how the city works. I know that some of you all went to the police academy and you've done the fire academy. And some of you said that, you know, that's more intensive, and I think that's probably true because that's all you're going to deal with for 10 weeks is the fire department or the police department. This gave us a whole view of the city, and I think it just gives you that nice foundation so you can move into the fire and to the police academy, which for me is probably going to be my next thing to do. Being a new person that moved to Rocky Mount, this was probably the neatest way for me to get to know my city. And I'm the kind of person that moves to a new area, and I like to really know what my city's all about. My wife and I started even getting the local paper just to see if that was going to tell us. And then I've got a subscription to it. It's wonderful. I like my little daily paper delivered to me every day. You hear that, Bree? And it's you know, we got to hear directly from the people that work here about the city, and it's a really neat thing for them to share that with us. It was also a great way to meet all you people. It really was, and I wish we had more weeks to do this because I felt like we were all kind of warming up to each other at about the 7th, 8th week, and it was like, it was over. And we were all starting to kind of, you know, mingle, and that was a good thing, but it's over. Hopefully, we won't lose touch. We'll see each other and throw a snowball at each other in the wintertime or something. And what was really, again, what was neat was those people who live here. You were able to come to these different departments and sort of ask about the rumors and the questions that you had about these departments. And there were quite a few. There were some questions and some misconceptions that the heads, the people that spoke for the departments were able to clear up for you. And I think that's a very neat thing that went on. Loretta, I want to thank you very much for coming up with this idea. You must have, was it your idea, Ann, or was it Loretta's? Loretta and I were. I mean, you were talking to me the other night, or all of us the last night about you retired and you were bored and you missed everybody and you came up with this. I can't thank you enough, and I don't think the people in this class can thank you enough. I mean, it was just truly nice to be taking part of the academy and wanting to be there every night. And the department heads and the different people who worked in the city, I mean, when they came and they talked to us, it made such a difference. It really did. And the energy they brought. And for someone who likes to feel positive about his community like I do, and I think we all do, I think we want to be positive about Rocky Mount. I mean, this was really, really a great thing. It really was. So, do I feel good about Rocky Mount and where the city's going? Yes, I do. Would I recommend this class? Absolutely. Absolutely. It was awesome. It really was. I'm waiting for the advanced class. I don't know what you're going to do with it. But, so again, on behalf of the class, I want to thank you, Loretta, and all the other city department heads managers and city employees who really shared their nights with us and took part in this experience, and it was absolutely terrific, and I really appreciate it. I know you all do, because there were a lot of smiles when we left at night and a lot of people talking about what we did. So it was, I believe, a very positive experience for everybody in this room, and I thank you very much. Orlando, outside of Orlando.
Say that for the television audience.
I moved from outside Orlando. Apopka, Florida, to be specific.
Well, I thought I was the closing remarks, but Loretta tells me that she's actually the closing remarks. So I just have a few things to say. The first thing I want to do is I really want to thank you all. We know that asking as citizens to take a night out of the week and spend a couple hours with us when they have other things that they need to do and families to tend to and work to do and houses to clean and laundry to do. We know that that is hard at times, but we really appreciate the fact that this class made the commitment to come and learn about the city of Rocky Mount. That means a lot to us, and we hope, and it sounds like you truly had a great experience. So thank you. And we also want to thank you for allowing us to share with you what it is that we do. Those of us that work for the city, I like to think that we have passion about what we do, and we love what we do, and we want to work hard for the city of Rocky Mount, and it's nice to come to an audience that's interested and receptive to hearing about it. And so we want to thank you for letting us listen. Some of our department heads, it's their opportunity, and I know it felt like they were just spewing stuff out at you at times, but it was their opportunity to really share with you all what they do, and we want to thank you for coming. So I'd like to ask the class to give themselves just a big hand for participating. I would also like to extend some deep thanks to Loretta for all of Loretta's work. This is the third class that Loretta has done and worked on with the Citizens Academy, and you all can tell she brings enthusiasm, dedication, drive. I think she has so many people with perfect attendance, and sometimes they just don't want to even let her down and not come. And so Loretta just is the perfect person to come and talk about the city of Rocky Mount and make all of these arrangements. And so I do want to extend just a huge thanks to Loretta, and I think she also deserves it. But the last thing I want to do is this. I want to task this class with two things. The first thing I want to task this class with is to share your knowledge about what you learned. You all are now, we consider you to be ambassadors for the city of Rocky Mount. So when people ask you questions, when people come up to you and go, I don't understand, you can go, well, let me tell you why. I learned this in the Citizens Academy. This is where you need to go for help. If you have questions, this is who you need to talk to. If you don't understand this, this is the reason it happened. So we want you to share this wealth of information. You have neighborhoods associations, Ms. Naomi. You have churches that you go to, you have neighbors that you talk to, you have people that you interact with and co-workers, and you are now empowered to be that spokesperson for the city of Rocky Mount. So we want you all to go out and do it. We have a lot of great things going on with the city of Rocky Mount, and we want you all to help us share those. The second thing we need for you to do is we need you to now put some of this knowledge to use, and we need you to volunteer. We have boards and commissions that we are always looking for volunteers to participate on those boards and commissions. We've just worked on the Twin County Visioning Project, where we have created a vision. The community has, over 400 people in the Twin County area, has created a vision for what they want this Twin County area to be. We're forming action groups now. Well, in fact, we'll mail you a card. We'll get your address and mail you a volunteer card. We want you to think about participating in one of those action groups and have a say in how this area develops. It's so important. You understand now about the city of Rocky Mount. You know where to go for help. You know the information, and we want you to have a say in it. And I looked up two quotes about volunteerism, and I'm going to read these, and then I'm going to turn it over to Loretta. And the first one is this. It says, don't ever question the value of volunteers. Noah's Ark was built by volunteers. the Titanic was built by professionals. And then listen to this last quote, and then I'll end. Volunteering is the ultimate exercise in democracy. You vote in an election once a year, but when you volunteer, you vote every day about the kind of community you want to live in. So.
I would like to make some comments to the class, but yes. Hello, class. Hello. I have been given the pleasure to do this task tonight, and it is an honor and a pleasure to make this great presentation. At this time, I would like for Miss Loretta Brasworth to please come forward. Loretta.
These are beautiful.
Will the whole class stand, please?
Oh, wow.
Loretta, on behalf of the Citizen Academy Fall Session graduation class for 2012, we are so proud of you. You have worked with us so much. Every night she had a beautiful smile on her face. You never seemed to get tired. You pepped us up and you kept us going. So we're going to say thank you, thank you, thank you, and keep the good work up.
Thank you.
And this is the love of
Oh, wow.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you. This group is very unique. This Fall Academy has been very unique, and not because of the 19 unique people that are sitting here, but because of some other things. And you really are unique in that this is the first. First time I've gotten flowers and a gift and that kind of thing, so thank you all very much. I certainly was not expecting it. And Ann has already shared some of the things that I was going to say about the 3 city employees. That's unique. The family affair, that's unique. The fact that out of this group, we've had 8 of you to sign up for the police academy, and they are so happy about that. I told them that today. And 10 to sign up for the fire academy. So that is unique, wouldn't you say? Yeah. And thank you all for doing that. You also talked about last week the community service projects that you want to do, 3 of which you've decided you want to do. The KAB, you're going to do that. We're going to collect some shoes for the swim organization, and you are going to set up booths throughout the city to recruit citizens for Citizens Academy, and also to share information about the city of Rocky Mount. That's unique. But in addition to that, you've agreed to participate in the city blood drives. Wonderful, wonderful. You've talked about some graffiti removal. Wonderful. And we do appreciate that. So that shows just how unique you are, and we do appreciate everything that you have done for the Academy. We appreciate those remarks that you made on your evaluations. You were very honest. So we do appreciate that. We appreciate the fact that you have indicated you're going to share the information with other people, and the fact that you are going to stay in touch with us. You have been given the information about the boards and commissions, and some of you are just real excited about that, so we're going to follow up on that. And those of you who were not here last week, I have your packets about the boards and commissions. And, you know, I told you last week, I don't know what I'm going to do on Thursdays now. I just don't. I'm going to miss you so. And I'm going to have withdrawal. But I have agreed to sign up for Zumba. So maybe next time you see me, I'll be a little thinner. But thank you for enrolling in the Academy, and thank you for sharing and bonding like you did with each other. That is so important. And I'd like to wish you and your families happy holidays, and let's stay in touch with each other. You know, I told you, I think the week that we did our artwork, that we were going to have an auction tonight. But I was told earlier by one of the participants that I wouldn't buy my own stuff. So there goes the auction. But we're going to go up and try to identify your handiwork and give that to you. But again, thank you, and thank you, City of Rocky Mount, for what you have done to make this possible, and thank you all for being a part of this session.